Greetings friends and welcome to another video. I'm your host Zera, and today we're going to talk about a whole host of things. As you can tell, there's a new format and I hope you guys enjoy this new format. I've taken some inspiration from some other channels and I'm just trying to test some new things out. I kind of like the way this looks, and I've tested some things with the audio. I've tweaked the audio a little bit, so let me know in the comments down below if the audio is on point, or if you think there needs to be some adjustments. I appreciate those of you that have taken to the comment section to help me sort out my audio. It's something that I take a lot of pride in, is my audio. I feel like audio is something that can separate a lot of YouTube channels. Visually, I don't think there's much to it. I think it's just you get your average webcam and I think you'll do just fine. But audibly, I want to make sure that I am pleasing and pleasant to the ear. Now, let's dive on into the reason for this new format. Is the fact that channels have to evolve, they have to grow. Otherwise, there's going to be this innate, just decline because you get too comfortable, you get too set in your ways. If you don't challenge yourself, if you don't have other people that challenge you, not to mention just in general in life itself, if you don't have challenges to overcome, you'll never get better. If you don't seek to get better, if you don't seek out those challenges and you get set in your ways, you get old and stagnant and you never improve. So I want to improve. I want to make this channel better. I want to make the content better. So let me know what you guys think of the format. And along with the new format, this is going to be something that I'm going to do is expand the variety of the content. I've been preaching this for majority of the year now, but it is finally going to happen. There's a reason that you guys see this going on over here, is because I want to be able to set up different blocks of time so that I can basically go through topic by topic that I want to talk about. And if you don't want to listen to it, if you don't want to listen to that particular topic, here's a timeline right here. You can skip right ahead to exactly where you want to be, and there's no problem with that. Now, what content will be the variety? What's going to spice of life going to be for Zera's channel? Obviously, World of Warcraft is going to be a cornerstone of this channel, but we're going to talk about movies, whether it be movie reviews or just movie topics in general, things that I find interesting, theory crafting about different movies. Like in Back to the Future, what if Marty had actually ended up going into the future in the first movie as opposed to going into the past? Could he have done anything different, so on and so forth? Or if Biff hadn't necessarily gone back in time to change his life, what if he'd gone into his future to change his life? Something to that ilk. I don't know. Who knows? Let's see if we can, dive into those kind of topics. Then there's Dragon Ball. I do like some anime, but Dragon Ball, let's be honest, was my introduction to anime, and it's kind of where it more or less stopped. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is another big one of mine. I love those two shows. Technology news, especially recently with NVIDIA and AMD picking things up a notch in the graphics department, and Ryzen coming out soon with its 5000 series. Really enjoying that, so I'll be talking about that some more. College football, SEC, Big 12, ACC, not so much the Pac-12 or even the Big 10, because let's be honest, that's Pac-12's kind of garbage and the Big 10's just Ohio State, although you could say the same thing about Clemson and the ACC. But there's also the NFL I want to talk about. No politics, just sports talk, and of course my workouts, because I have lost over 20 pounds in 6 weeks. So I've got some tips and tricks for you guys. I have no doubt that you'll enjoy. And if there's anything else you guys can think of, just hit me up down in the comments below. Let me know what you think of the new format. Without any further ado, let's roll on to the next topic, which is going to be my response and reaction to your reaction to my most recent video, which is the Marksmanship Too Powerful video that I did for Shadowlands. Look, I understand that most of you, like me, are passionate about this game. You're passionate about this class, and you want to see us be successful. And for those of you that actually went to the comments and offered constructive criticism, thank you. And for those that did not, thank you still. I wish you had offered some constructive criticism instead of just, being mean and disruptive and hateful and spiteful, but that's okay. Sometimes that's just how people are, and I understand. But the thing is that I feel like I failed to convey my personal feelings and what I actually believe was the issue with marksmanship, because I went back and watched it and I was like, now I can see why people were upset, because I'd be upset too, because damn, I never really put the nail in the coffin on what I thought the problem was. Just kind of rambling. Sometimes that happens. Some of my videos, I just kind of go off on a tangent, and I'm editing it the day or two after, and I don't really catch myself doing that. And it happens. It's the life of a young content creator. You learn from your mistakes. But for me, I think in PvE, I think we're fine. I think PvE, I think hunters, marksmanship hunters in general, are perfectly fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with our rotation and focus regeneration in PvE. I think we're pretty much right where we need to be. It's PvP specifically where I feel like there's a little bit of an edge for the marksmanship hunter, in the fact that double tap is just a little teensy weeny too powerful. I don't want to see double tap get changed, but maybe we could shift double tap down to the final row of talents instead of the second to last row, because it is that powerful. It deserves to be in that last row. Or maybe we can, instead of having it be a 1 minute cooldown, make it a 75 or 90-second cooldown. I don't know. Something to give it a little bit more distance between how frequently you can use it, because it is very, very powerful. But it might also be a possibility to where they just simply tweak the numbers and it's not actually as powerful as it is right now. Who knows? There's a variety of different ways Blizzard can fix it. That was my fault going into that video, kind of giving it the impression that, oh my god, we're up against the clock here, and when we're really not. We've probably got another month and a half of beta testing to do. So Blizzard is going to adjust those numbers. So that's on me. Thank you for those of you that went to the comment section to voice your concerns there. I appreciate it. I respect your opinion. And I really, really, really doubly appreciate those of you that actually gave constructive criticism. Thank you. Moving on into the classic hunter changes. The PTR notes were released for upcoming patch phase, and we have attack power buffs coming from all of our world buffs as hunters is going to apply to us, and it's also going to include an aim shot fix. So let's talk about the range attack power change first. This is a big deal. Being able to have 140 attack power to our range attack power from Oni buff, another 40 from Juju's power, and another, what, 200 from, what was it, Fungus Ferocity? I mean, you want to talk about an absolute earth-shattering change for hunters. Now, is this going to change anything about our spec? No, absolutely not. I was initially thinking, sure, maybe lightning reflexes might have some sort of initial change, but no matter what you do to our numbers, it's not going to change the fact that ranged weapon specialization is the primary reason why marksmanship hunters perform so much better than survival in a raid environment. Because when you get into Nax and AQ specifically, the humanoid slaying and monster slaying talents do nothing for us. Now, Killer Instinct and Lightning Reflexes do add something to our rotation and our damage potential as a full-on survival hunter, but you miss out on all the extra pet damage from BM, because if you go 30 points into Lightning Reflexes, you must go 20 points into marksmanship. Whereas if you go 30 or 31 points into marksmanship, you don't have that same default response. You can go 20 points into BM and get that 20% damage bump to your pet, along with a 15% bump to their pet's crit chance. And while I understand that pets don't really survive a whole lot in a whole lot of fights, you can still get 20, 30% uptime on your pet in most fights. And that can be the difference between 200, 300, or 400 DPS, depending on how well your pet is buffed. So I would not just snark at that and say, oh, well, I'm going to go Lightning Reflexes because I have way more attack power than I would otherwise. You may have more attack power, but your weapon is still going to do less damage than a marksmanship hunter, not to mention your pet will do far less damage, and just add, salt to an open wound, your multi-shots are not going to hit nearly as hard. So there is kind of this give and take there. I don't think the attack power buffs from world buffs are going to change anything in that regard, but it will be fun to see what the theory crafters come up with, including myself. Now let's move on into kind of the negative aspects of this. As if getting ready for a raid was not already a big enough headache, with having to get things like Oni Head and ZG, not to mention also getting Songflower, Ground Scorpion Kasai, things of that nature. And now you've got to turn right back around and apply Juju's power. You got to farm that. You got to compete with warriors, rogues, and now hunters. And now you're also going to have to go out and compete for getting DMT, which isn't really that difficult, but now you have to orchestrate kind of a map on how you're going to go from DMT to Stormwind Ogremar to, Bellwood to get Songflower, back to Booty Bay to get, Heart, whatever else it might be. Not to mention you have to dedicate off time getting Juju's power, getting Ground Scorpion Kasai, and just kind of having it all encompassing and maximize the uptime on your buffs. It's going to be really fun to see how that's going to play out. I know some hunters have already been doing DMT buffs just for the stamina, or maybe you were melee weaving all along and you were using Fingers Ferocity on your melee attack power. Good for you if you were. I was not one of those guys. I didn't see the point. But then again, I also have been slacking on world buffs because, let's be honest, content's kind of a joke now. I mean, everything's so easy to clear, but that's just, it's just the nature of Classic. It's starting to wear thin on me, starting to lose excitement. So that's the one negative about this. But the positive is kind of, in reaction to the negative, is the fact, yes, I have to dedicate more time to playing to get these buffs, but at the same time, it makes me more invigorated and more exciting about what I'm going to be capable of going into those raids. So I'm going to be really looking forward to that in the future. Now, let's talk about the aim shot fix. This was also mentioned in the Classic PTR patch notes. With the fix to the aim shot delay for your auto shot, that's essentially just going to remove the macro from being a need anymore. However, Blizzard, and this might even be part of this fix, because I mentioned the delay specifically, but the biggest delay that I have a problem with is not so much the auto shot delay following aim shot. How about the delay of auto shot following Fiend Death? Like, was there no conversation about that delay? Because that one's kind of a pain in the butt. I could live with utilizing a macro to bypass the delay of auto following aim shot. That wasn't really a problem for me. It's the delay of auto shot following Fiend Death. Can you please fix that? I mean, you already fixed all of this other stuff. You might as well fix that too. Just throwing it out there. But, is the aim shot macro no longer necessary? I would say yes, just on the surface level. But further testing will be required. And, hopefully, cross your fingers, they'll also fix or apply a fix to the Fiend Death auto shot delay, which would be great. Now, moving on to the next topic, which is the frost resistant information. I know a lot of people have been asking me about this. I really want to put out a dedicated video covering frost resistance, but in the meantime, down linked below, you will find not only the link to the True Shot Brigade Discord, not only will you find a link to my Patreon, not only will you find a link to my merch store and Amazon affiliate links, of course, which are paid links, which I will get a commission, but you will also find a link to the frost resistance information for those of you that want to take the initiative, go out there, start farming the FR gear. Let me know how it goes for you. I'll be starting that grind probably in the next week or two once things kind of calm down around the house here. And there will be a dedicated video coming, if not this week, certainly next week, so be keeping an eye out for that. Now, on to the final topic of the day, which is an IRL update. As I've mentioned, I've lost 20 pounds in 6 weeks. I don't know how much inch I've lost off of my waist. Quite a bit, actually. I was actually able to fit into my jeans, which I haven't been able to do in almost a year, so that's been exciting. I've basically flip-flopped my body fat percentage and muscle percentage, which is really, really nice. Of course, I can't really trust those percentages too accurately because there's actually a more, definitive scientific way to do that, and I haven't actually delved into that. We have this little, electronic weighing scale that kind of borderline measures your body fat and muscle percentage, but I don't really trust it. But it's just nice to see those numbers kind of go from here to whoop, and I was like, oh, that's cool. So your boy's getting in shape again. I really enjoy the gym I'm going to. It's a lot of fun, and I can just go in there at 5 a.m., knock out my workout, come home, knock out another home workout. I'm basically doing 2 days, 3 days a week, and man, it's just a lot of fun. Just a lot of fun. So we'll be talking a lot about that, sharing that journey with you guys. We just recently purchased our final piece of furniture for our second living space that we have that's basically unfurnished right now. There's going to be a whole installation process once we get the couch put in. I'm going to cover the TV. I'm going to review the TV, soundbar, the whole 9 yards, basically doing a whole tech upgrade for the living space. We'll be covering that. That's going to be part of the tech upgrades. So I hope you guys enjoy that as well. And there's going to be a house tour coming as a whole, but the wife wanted to wait, and I agree, until the house was completely clean, top to bottom, no more boxes anywhere. So we'll be doing that probably sometime around Thanksgiving, so be looking forward to that. Be kind of like a Thanksgiving, giving thanks to you guys for helping me pay for things around the house. And also, workout videos are going to start coming around. I'm thinking about maybe doing a dedicated workout Wednesday or something like that, and maybe we could have a will the Warcraft reset Tuesday and then we're going to have a sports Saturday or a sports Sunday? I don't know, something along that ilk. We'll see. But for all intents and purposes, this is the new format. This is the new direction of the channel. I hope you enjoy it. And without any further ado, guys, I love you. Woo Pig Sooie. And we'll see you in the next video. Zera out.